Hey, all right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this morning's conversation. Let me get the music down. Welcome. My name's Sean Murphy. I'll be your host here for the next little bit. Six-time #1 best-selling author, and I can't spell. I've stood on stage in 30 plus countries, but I don't really like to travel. I've been paid six figures to teach and train international markets. And I'm just learning how to take care of me. So we're going to have some fun today. Today, it's about the gravity of your words. We talked about the velocity of your words. How fast can you get somebody to move? Right? When we talk about velocity of words, how fast do you move somebody from their sedentary state to their I want to get into movement state. I want to get into action state, right? That's what we're always looking to do, is when we have conversations with people, we're always looking to put them into action. How do we get them to move in a direction that serves them and serves us, right? Zig Ziglar said, sales is a transference of enthusiasm. How do we awaken the enthusiasm inside of them? We do that with our words, right? And the challenge is that words do not teach. That's the thing that gets most people a little bit worried or confused when somebody comes along and says words don't teach, right? Words do not teach. They don't. If they did, every book would be a best-selling book because there's words in a book. It's not the words that teach, it's everything else. Words are 7% of a conversation. It's the tone and the timbre and the energy and the pause and it's actually the gravity of the words that you use, right? There's some people who speak eloquently. There's other people who speak highfalutin and they speak highbrow conversation that can make you feel inferior. The question becomes, how fast can you move somebody? How present can your words be? And the third part today we're going to talk about is the gravity of your words. And gravity needs space, right? Gravity needs space. In order for something to be in orbit around you, there's a space because one is moving at a different direction, at a consistent direction around you, right? So that's what today's conversation is going to be about, the gravity of your words. So let me give you a little introduction here. Get to my notes. What we're going to do is we're going to go deeper into something most people in sales very rarely master. I'm not going to say never master, but it's very rarely master. It's the gravity of words. So we've already talked about the velocity, how your words move energy in the moment, right? The velocity of your, how many of us, when we were growing up, your mom could say your name, right? Say she says your name and she wants to get your attention at dinner, or she says your name in such a way, a velocity, she says it so fast, or she uses your first, middle, and last name, right? The velocity of words, she says them very rapidly, and it changes the entire meaning. The other thing she changed is the gravity of the words, right? So we've already trained on the velocity of words, how your words move energy in the moment. We've trained on presence, how your signal sets the stage before you say a word, right? There's a phrase, maybe you've heard this before. It's one I love to use all the time. It's who you are speaks so loud, I do not need to hear the words coming out of your mouth. Now we're stepping into the next level, the gravity of words, the staying power of your words. I was taught a long time ago, there's A, B, and C. A lot of times people will say, always be closing. I don't like to close somebody. I like to open them to new possibilities, because if you're going to help them do something they've never done, see something they've never seen, feel something they've never felt, to have a reward that they've never had, why would I want to close them off to their possibilities? That's just me. That's me and my peculiarity for language. I want to open them. So always be creating. always be connecting. The challenge is that you have an A and a C. The C is where you get paid, right? The C is where you get paid, the conversion. When they do something with you, spend money, buy your book, buy your service, enroll with you. The A is the introduction. The question is that the B is where they decide to buy. So if your A is today, can your B be today as well? Can when they decide to buy, is that the same day? Most people in today's society say, well, let me get back with you. Send me a website and I'll be interested in, let me review some information. Okay, let me get, right? There's this delay. I'm not saying there doesn't need to be a delay. The reason they don't move forward to the C, to the conversion, is because while they were in their day, the delay and the buying moment, the gravity of your words lost its pull to you. Does that make sense? So now we're stepping into this next level, the gravity of words, the staying power of what you say. These are not throwaway lines. These are statements that echo in someone's mind long after the conversation is over. You've had some gravitational words laid upon you in your lifetime. Words you have never forgotten, phrases you have never forgotten. Today, I'm going to give you some examples of gravitational phrases that you don't have to be the master salesperson to know how to create gravity in somebody's life. Gravitational pull towards you, towards your idea. So they have your words running in their mind when they're in that belief stage, the B part, where they're making a decision to purchase, to move forward, to decide that you're a great solution for them, right? When you use gravity statements the right way, you don't have to push or chase. Your words create an orbit. They create a pull where people keep thinking about what you said until they're ready to take action. So I'm going to offer you 15 statements today that I've used that have allowed me to create a significant level of success in my world. I believe they'll work for you. They should work for you because they're universal in nature, these gravitational statements. They're not based upon a particular product or service or income, or whether you're becoming a sponsor or helping somebody to purchase a product. These are about getting people to pay attention to the moment and find out if it's the right time for them to make a change that they never thought possible, that they only dreamed of being real. Does that make sense? So they're designed for people just like us, right? I came up with them. I'm only special because of the results I've had. I was nothing special before I had the results. Does that make sense? I was your typical farm boy from Ohio, barely made it through high school. I drove by a lot of universities. I wasn't on anybody's radar list going, they're going to be something special. I had some good skills that I needed to develop. I had some great capabilities that I developed. I think you have those too. They're people who are looking to expand their income. You would use these on anybody that is looking to expand their income possibilities or their ability to get better, whether that's using a service or a value-added product that you have. Remember, the goal isn't to memorize a script. It's to carry these statements within a single moment inside your presentation, aka your signal. Carry these statements in a signal that allows them to land. Because you can definitely say these statements, and when you say these statements, if you're not in the right signal, they're not going to land. This is the epitome of Wallace D. Wattles. It's not about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way. So here's some statements about choice and ownership. Choice and ownership. If nothing changes, nothing changes. So what chapter are you writing right now? If we're talking to people about, if somebody says, I feel like life has passed me by, or things are changing, or my kids are moving out and I'm going to be an empty nester, or we're just getting kids, or we just moved to a new place, or we just started a new job. If there's any change in somebody's life, we would typically know that that's a new chapter of their life, right? So the question I'll ask somebody, hey, listen, is if nothing changes, nothing changes, right? So let me ask you, what chapter of your life are you writing right now? Does it add pressure? Yeah. Are you the one adding the pressure? No. It's the reality of their life that there's this thing in, as a brain training, neuroencoding specialist, self-talk teacher, trainer, addiction to approval, teacher, trainer, coach, mentor. There's all of these things. There's kind of this unwritten phrase, this unwritten agreement between average people. And here's the unwritten agreement that maybe you weren't even aware of, but you've agreed to. At some point in your life, you agreed to. And here's the agreement. If you don't find fault with the things I'm doing less than, meaning I know I'm capable of more and you know you're capable of more, if you don't point out my faults, I won't point out yours. Unless they're really close friends, we typically never say to somebody we first met, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing with your, that was silly. What are you doing? That was stupid. What are you doing? Whether it's a girlfriend talking to one of her girlfriends going, what'd you go out with him for? Why are you, right? Where you really kind of grab them by the shoulders and give them a little jostle, a little shake on what's going on in your cranium. If you don't have that level of relationship, there's this unwritten rule, this unspoken agreement that if you don't point out my faults, I won't point out yours. So these statements kind of hit with a little bit of a punch because they're coming to you to help, for you to help them have more. Does that make sense? So if nothing changes, nothing changes. So what chapter of your life are you writing right now? Second one is, most people spend their lives building someone else's dream. This is your chance to build yours. Are you ready for it? One of the things you'll find is that these statements will raise a whole lot of questions. And I was taught, if you want better answers, ask better questions. Most people spend their lives building someone else's dream. This is your chance to build yours. Are you ready? Number 3, you don't have to quit your job to start changing your life. You just have to quit waiting. Is now the time? You don't have to quit your job to start changing your life. Most people say, well, I got to quit my job. Don't stop your income that's currently coming in to start a side gig, to start a startup. Figure out a way to get good at doing your startup while still creating and while still having your income. Too many people require or are counting on you to not break the mold so fast. You don't have to quit your job to start changing your life. You just have to quit waiting. Are you ready? The question isn't, can I do this? The question isn't, can I do this? The real question is am I willing to stop settling? These are words that are say, these are questions, conversations I'll have with a prospect, with a potential client. Hey, the question isn't, can I do this? The real question is, am I willing to stop settling? Are you? Are you willing to stop settling? Don't these hit? These probably might be hitting and leaving a little mark on you right now. You're already working hard. Isn't it time that the effort worked for you? You're already working hard. Isn't it time that effort worked for you too? When people say, I'm working so hard. Well, if they say they're working so hard, and the next sentence is, or the next statement is and I'm getting so much, then their effort isn't working. Their effort isn't reciprocating the work. Does that make sense? You're already working hard. Isn't it time that effort, your effort, worked for you too? So those are about choice and ownership, those 5 statements. Those are about choice and ownership. Here's about time and freedom. Time and freedom. Your future doesn't ask how many hours you worked. Your future doesn't ask how many hours you worked. It asks what you built. Now, again, if you just read this, your future doesn't ask how many hours you worked. It asks what you built. You can just read it. That's not putting velocity. It's not putting presence. They're huge gravitational shifts in somebody's focus. At their core, it triggers their signal to waken up. Their signal hears these questions. If you've ever been around somebody who says things differently than you're used to, or causes you to feel a different way than you normally do, they're activating your signal. They're triggering your signal, that core deep inside of you that you've been connected with, yet maybe not in connection with. Your future doesn't ask how many hours you've worked. It asks what you built. So what's your answer? These are conversations, gravitational conversations, questions about time and freedom. If you don't design a second income, you'll always run on someone else's clock. Whose clock do you tell time by? If you don't design a second income, an alternative income, you will always run on somebody else's clock. Whose clock do you tell time on? Yours or theirs, right? You don't even have to ask that question. I'm kind of filling in the blank for you. How about this one? Side gigs aren't about more work. They're about buying back your freedom one decision at a time. Is it decision time? Right? Side gigs aren't about more work. They're about buying back your freedom one decision at a time. Here's a big one. Here's for ones with, here's for moms. Here's for dads. Here's for those folks who, well, let me just say the question. You can figure out who it might be for. Your children won't remember how tired you were. They'll remember whether you were there. Now, this is understanding presentation skills. This is understanding presence and velocity. There has to be some pauses. You want to practice these. These are powerful statements that need space. They have to land. There can't be a distraction right away. Your children won't remember how tired you were. They'll remember whether you were there or not. So do you really want to help me join me in business? Shouldn't you get started right away? There's no space for that to kind of settle into their soul. Your children won't remember how tired you were. They'll remember whether you were there. You gotta give them a space that they gotta eat that. They gotta swallow that. They gotta chew on that. All right. Here's the last one, time and freedom. There's many more, but this is the last one we're talking about today for time. You can either spend the next 5 years wishing or spend them building. Time will pass either way. Next 5 years are coming. You can either spend them building or not. Either way, those 5 years are going to pass. Good morning, Dublin. So those are about time and freedom. Here's about self-worth and potential. First one, you weren't created just to survive. We know this. We know this. It doesn't leave a good taste in our mouth. You weren't put on this planet to pay bills and suffer and die broke, right? It's okay. Give me some meat. Give me some hope. So here's what you might use. You weren't created just to survive. You were created to expand. Are you ready? You weren't created just to survive. You were created to expand. You can keep playing small. The cost isn't just your income, it's your potential. What is not using your potential cost you, right? That's what's running in their head. The question is if you keep playing small, it's not the cost of your income. It's your potential. That's the real cost. This isn't about selling a product. It's about proving to yourself what you're capable of. A lot of times people, well, I'm not in sales. The heck you aren't. This isn't about selling a product, whether it's travel, whether it's a nutritional, whether it's technology, whether it's online media. It's not about selling a product. It's about proving to yourself what you're capable of. See, a lot of times they'll blame us. Oh, I can't sell a product. That's not my problem. You should be able to sell a product. You have to be able to sell a product, even if the product's you. So when people tell me, oh, well, I'm not good at sales. So you're trying to sell me on that? It sounds like you're pretty good at it. Sales is a transference of enthusiasm. You're pretty sold that you're not good at sales. That's a great sales job. It isn't about selling a product. It's about proving to yourself what you're capable of. Here's another one. Most people stop dreaming in their 20s. What would it mean to start again now? Ooh, that one's good. They're all good. That one just maybe hits you different. That's why you have a variety of them. You got to have an arsenal of questions. Most people stop dreaming in their 20s. What would it mean for you to start again now? The real risk isn't trying. The real risk is staying exactly where you are. Who's this? Hey, Molly. Hello, Mama. The real risk isn't trying. The real risk isn't trying this. The real risk is staying exactly where you are. So some suggestions on sharing these. Drop one, then pause. Let the silence do the heavy lifting. Does that make sense? Give that thing a chance to work on them. Let that silence do the heavy lifting as it means to them. Don't talk over it. Don't step over it. You ever have somebody that's taught that maybe you've seen spouses like this, where somebody starts selling something and the other one always corrects them? No, that's not what it was, or this, that, or the other, and they just kind of take the wind out of the sail. Silence is the wind in the sail you have to let blow. Use soft eye contact in calm tone, not hype. Here's the thing. Never stack too many in a row. One well-timed gravity statement per conversation can shift the whole frame. Which means what? You've got to work on these. You've got to use these. You have to have them available in your brainiac so that you can deliver them when necessary. Imagine you're the FedEx, UPS, DHL super deliverer, and you deliver the package at the perfect time. That's how powerful these are. You don't need all of these. One of them will do the trick when placed properly, right? It's the straw that breaks the camel's back. So, and a curiosity question, right? So when you ask these questions, here's two additional questions you can ask when you use any one of these. You ready? How does that land with you? The real risk isn't trying this. The real risk is staying exactly where you are. Pause. About 5 seconds is the most uncomfortableness that you should let somebody sit in, probably. And then after you say that, the real risk isn't trying this. The real risk is staying exactly where you are. How does that land with you? Right? Why do we ask a how question? Because it's strategy. You want their brain going to look for an answer. The brain will do two things. Will it kill me, or how fast could I recognize the pattern? You want to uncover the pattern that they are using that is keeping them exactly the same. Or this isn't about selling a product. It's about proving to yourself what you're capable of. How does that land with you? Aren't they going to give you the strategy of what they feel they're not capable of, what they're doing in their life that they haven't achieved success? So that's question number one. Follow-up question number one. Question number two, what part of this hits home right now? Now, some of you may not feel comfortable at all of this because you lack confidence. You lack skill. Your job is to convert. You don't get paid for information. You're not Google. You're not running ads when you're giving your presentation. Hey, listen, can I give you a presentation for 35 minutes and let me sneak an ad in there, a product placement in there that if somebody buys it, I'll get paid, because you're probably not going to want to use my service. How many people love ads? Nobody I know, unless it's kind of Super Bowl ads. Nobody really likes ads. Why do people still advertise? Because it gets you in front of them. The challenge is you're not advertising. You are in sales, period, end of story. Fast forward, done. So sales is a transference of enthusiasm, Zig Ziglar said. So here's the question. You've got all these questions. Every follow-up, you can use one of these. How does that land with you? Or the second one, what part of this hits home right now? I'll always tilt my head. Take the pressure of the forward-looking eyes, right? Take the threat of looking into their soul, of diving deep, I've just asked some quite piercing questions. What part of that hits home right now? So there you go. There's a brief 25-minute, 35-minute conversation on the gravity of words and how to put these words into work so that they work well for you. Words worth their weight. Unlike casual conversation, these statements don't disappear once they're spoken. How many of you can still feel kind of the impact of those questions? You may not remember the question because we did 15. If I did one question with you, they would probably still be lingering. They'd still be kind of pulling at your heartstrings. They reshape the way somebody thinks about their current reality and their future reality. So, as a wrap up, presence earns you trust before you pitch. Are you getting yourself centered? Are you getting yourself ready for a presentation? Listen, drop a 1 in the chat if you believe what you do can improve somebody's life, can leave a positive impact in somebody's life. If you believe that you can leave a positive impact in somebody's life, how much are you preparing to give a life-changing presentation that has the potential to leave tremendous value in somebody's life? I'll give a 1-hour keynote speech, 45-minute keynote speech. One maybe I've done a dozen times. I'll customize it. I'll localize it to the particular audience. I'll probably spend anywhere from 20 to 25 hours practicing that 45-minute presentation. Ones I've given dozens of times. But I can tell you, a properly placed pause is better than a hyped up sentence. Just saying. So presence is getting yourself prepared before you begin to pitch. And your presence, the tone in your voice, the look in your eyes, it's everything kind of unseen. So that gives you the trust before the pitch. Velocity moves the conversation in a forward movement. It's not about speed. It's not about how fast you talk. Right? Russell Brunson speaks at a rapid pace. He does that. And a lot of times when people hear Russell Brunson speaking the first time, they get a little tired quick because there's a lot to chew on. He's a brilliant individual who speaks with large imagery in his words. And he speaks so fast. He goes, okay, we're going to get started here. We're going to do this. What gives people the space is all of the trial balloons, they call it in sales, all the trial closes, all the throws it up to where you're going, yes, yes, yes. Velocity is not about the speed of your words. It's about moving the conversation forward. And then gravity keeps your message in their mind, right? You're at the A point, the information point. The accumulation point. They got to accumulate a bunch of information. Now, are you trying to download Google into their brain? Or are you trying to download decision into their brain? Which is it? Do you want to teach them the 35 ways your comp plan pays and what your key ingredients are and how many years your founder has struggled and suffered and been through success? Or do you want them to hear you accumulate information to make a decision so they can get started? Gravity keeps your message alive in their mind long after the call ends. That's why gravity of words matters. Because when you learn to use words that stick, you stop convincing and start enrolling. So as you practice, don't just deliver these statements. embody them, make them who you are. They've become a part of me. Because for 30 years, 40 years, 45 years, 50 years, I've been teaching this. I've been using it. And to every third grader, a fourth grader's a hero. Why do I say that? Because when I was 10, selling on the farm, my neighbors were 6, 7, and 8, and they were saying, how do you do that? How do you do that? And I was teaching at 10 years old, I was teaching 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds how to make money on the side from the end of their driveway. Here's the thing. The truth is, people forget the details of your pitch. Isn't that true? That's the truth. The truth is, people forget the details of your pitch. What is that button that they say Mary Kay wore? And she said, imagine everybody's wearing a button that says, make me feel special. Nobody cares about the content unless they know how much you care. They'll forget long before they forget about the details of your pitch. You want them to remember the one sentence that made them stop and say, that's true. It's not about the pitch. You want them to hear in your statement, you want them to hear in your presentation that one statement, that one thing that drove it home, that they keep replaying over and over and over and over and over in their head, that they go, that's true. So that's the power of gravity. Questions, comments, thoughts. What'd you learn? What'd you like? What's your takeaway? Good morning, AJ.
Dobro jutro. How's it going?
Halala.
Dude, just before I hit the shower, just came home from the gym. Couple of things, couple of alerts. That's plural. Okay.
Okay.
First things first. I'm not sure if he can talk. I told him I was going to do this. If you take a look into participants, you'll see AS.
Yes.
That's my friend Andrew. He's, this guy like a brother to me.
Awesome. Welcome, Andrew.
And I'm super thrilled that he's on finally, because we talk about you behind the scenes all the time.
I'm not sure you can say we talk about you behind your back. That too.
Whatever you say. A couple of things, major stuff. So last week we spoke about some key things and had a real productive week. And then guess what happened on Saturday?
Oh, the wheels fell off.
I got sick.
Oh.
And then I know from experience, because this is what happened when I came home from Dubai. Yeah. So what I've done is took my journal out and I was like, whoever this PAB version got sick, love you. However, your services are no longer required, which further means that your employment here is terminated, effective immediately. Right. So, that's great. And second thing is, leg is finally healed, totally again. Started doing that, which is great. So we're kind of picking up pieces back at the gym again. Started doing that.
Cool.
And overall, just super thrilled that this guy's on. This guy and I, we go way back, and we shared a lot of successes. He was actually my football coach. That's how we met each other about a decade ago at this point. Shared a lot of successes, shared a lot of failures as well. I guess that's just how it goes. So I'm just super happy that he's on, and I hope he's going to be able to incorporate this in the schedule daily. So thank you all. Wish you guys all the best.
And, what would be something good you would ask? What would be 2 smart questions you'd ask Andrew after the call's over? Would you learn? Would you like?
No, I would say that my mentor is better than yours, and yeah, sure. I'll do what you learn, what you like.
And the reason is because this is a lot, right? I'm a lot to take in, right? If you get a hold of me on the first time and you're like, holy, there's like no break. It's a lot, right? Yeah. So yeah. I'm glad he came here. I'm sorry he's got to put up with you, but everybody's got their penance. Everybody's got to carry their cross, and you're just happen to be, and thank God you're losing some weight, so you're not as heavy to carry, for God's sake. So
I know what you're talking about, and I'm just kidding. It's great stuff. And
good.
actually, the thing I'm most thrilled about is the thing that happened on Saturday. So I was at home all day. I was kind of laying around, and nighttime came,
Yeah.
and I said to
That
myself,
usually happens. That's like Jim Rohn. Night usually comes after day.
yeah, usually at some point.
God willing.
And I said to myself, oh, so this is exactly what happened 2 months ago. However, now I know betterer because there's this guy in Arkansas I talk to daily. And I was like, okay, so I started journaling. And guess what? Yesterday, feeling a lot better. Today, just moving on as nothing happened. So apparently, you can cure sickness with journaling. So that's great. That's
And
great.
you can be sick without it. So imagine this, AJ. Imagine this. So here's a lesson to learn, because you went through it. What we always have to become aware of as we become mentors and leaders and directors and guiders of men and women is that there's a lot of people who don't journal, who may not have the physical ailments of sickness. They are sick. How do we know they're sick? Their poverty. They don't have their relationships are in shambles. They don't have the income they want. They don't have the freedom they want. And we're like, well, journaling can't fix that. My mentor would say, you're right. I'm rich. Let's move on. What's your next question for me? So without journaling, without dialoguing with yourself, who's going to hold you accountable? You had an accountability conversation. Holy crap, I'm sick. And you took ownership. I made myself sick. Not the weather or the this or the 1,001 things you could have blamed. Because you did go somewhere and got a bug. The challenge is the bugs are always there. It's your immune system that didn't have the orders to fight it off. And as soon as you wrote down a journal, went, wow, PAB, thanks for showing up. I love you. You're no longer needed. And it went, oh, okay. No arguing, no fussing, no fighting. And in 48 hours that it took you to get sick, 48 hours, you're back to normal. That's the power of journaling. That it's not the journaling, it's the conversation you have with yourself. And most people, the majority of people, are sick, either sick with what they got or sick with what they don't have. They are sick because they don't have a conversation with themselves on a regular basis. So there you go. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
That is great. And by the way, look at the background up there. So this is Wall Street, and then this is the actual.
Yeah.
Look at this every morning when I wake up. I look at this. This is the first thing I look at.
Awesome.
That's a playoff of the entry I had the other week when I said, "Why not be the best?" You know. So this is the thing right here.
So this is how the old story sneaks in. Why not be the best? Best don't get sick. So again, I would also put up there somewhere on one of those things or somewhere, take a little sticky note and add the other 5 pillars. Because that's money. But also Wall Street, in order to play on Wall Street, you got to be healthy. You got to be in a great state of mind, meaning probably have a good relationship with yourself and probably somebody included, possibly. You got to have good society. What's your give back? Right? So most people on Wall Street are not the healthiest people because they don't have the other 5 pillars included.
And I think there's a lot of that probably has to do with cocaine abuse.
Because they don't journal. Imagine if instead of chopping stuff up or buying razors, you bought pens and started writing.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. I learned how to cure sickness by journaling. That's my biggest takeaway of this month.
Isn't that crazy?
That
Isn't that
is
crazy? That's the thing.
That's ridiculous.
And yet it's the secret to all success, because if you can keep your mind healthy, you can listen. I'll put images, I'll put some pictures in the chat. This weekend, started Friday, and I built a whole dock for the lake out here, for the pond out here. So now when you come in October, you'll be able to walk out on a dock and go sit out kind of 30 feet out into the lake on a dock, floating, fishing, doing whatever.
No.
Yeah. I'll show you the pictures this week.
Man, you're living my wet dream, bro. You are living it out there. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I'll show you the images in the pictures, and then you can share them with Andrew. That's so awesome. I saw the name pop up. I'm like, okay, Zoom user Andrew. I'm like, okay, probably the way it was spelt in the last name. I'm like, that's probably somebody from AJ, but who the hell likes AJ? It couldn't be a friend of his.
Well, he's one of the guys. Not that big of a crowd, I gotta say. However, we are stronger by one every day.
That's awesome. I love it, love it, love it.
Thank you.
Cool. And let's go to Silka. Good morning, Silka. And she's got to find the unmute button. I love her.
You know it because I'm on my phone. It's definitely much easier on my lap. I even came up as Zoom user this morning. I have no idea what's going on. Everything seems to reset. I'm ending up in I don't know, maybe somebody else's Zoom.
No, you're good here. So
well, I think, how are you feeling this morning?
I'm a little sore, but I'm outstandingly sore. If I'm going to do it, I'm going all the way.
Wow, that's funny that you actually had to stop and give it a preface before you got to outstanding. I think that since I've known you, that's probably the first time this has ever happened. So you must be in quite some pain.
There's flexibility is my second nature. It's like, oh, wow, okay, so there's muscles there. There's ligaments attached to that part. Yeah.
So let me suggest that you take AJ's suggestion and journal about that, and you'll be feeling much better.
I did.
But I should do that. You know, he said he got sick. I suddenly got a terrible rash.
Oh, I saw that. I mean, I saw you posted that. Yeah.
Yes, but I didn't. Did I post the rash? Actually,
no. You just posted that.
I was thinking about that, but then I thought, well, I did. So I didn't, and I was super busy. But I'm getting ready to fly out to Las Vegas today for my birthday. Remember, my daughter surprised me with a trip to Las Vegas.
Yes.
So I feel so honored. It's amazing. So we'll spend all day tomorrow for my birthday in Las Vegas, and then we come back on Wednesday because she could only get a little time off. But so she was really lucky to get the time off. And you know, it's so funny. She traveled so much different than I do. She's been cooking up a storm for the last 2 days, and we bringing that along so we can eat in the airport. She even packed some wine for us to have in the airport.
Wow. It's good. That's a celebration.
Oh my God. You know, she even bought a turkey breast and she fried it and she's making turkey sandwiches with it. I mean, to take along. I have not traveled with her in a while. She does that when she travels with her fiance. But oh my God, I'm like, she went through a lot of work just to prepare the food. Can you believe that?
Well, that's I would say that's love, right? And that's also somebody who was raised to be, penny wise and dollar smart. And she just wants to be able to have her convenience. She's somebody who definitely likes to have control. I can tell that's your daughter.
Well, and she likes to eat.
So but she wants to eat good, because you can eat any place, but she wants to eat good. She wants to eat under her control, inside of her rules. and she's taking a lot of time to make sure that she takes care of her, which is awesome.
Yeah, and takes care of me because she said, she wants me to have good food. Where I think, if I go in the airport, I might either not eat at all or I might get a little snack and I sit at the bar and have a cocktail.
Yep.
And so I couldn't believe she's like, and we've had the added every day going to the stables together because we have to give treatment to Miss Annie.
Yep.
And yeah, so we did that. Yes, I gave Miss Annie a spa day. So if you want to see Miss Annie's spa activities, you can go to Facebook. I posted it this morning. And then yesterday I also had my German student treffen that I just started up again last month for the students to get together and speak as much little German as they can, have a lot of fun. So one of my students and his mom, who used to also be one of my students, hosted it at their house this time. So we had an amazing time. One of the students, and I've never had this, and I just posted this actually on Facebook. I didn't have time to do it last night when I came back because I had to pack and so on. Anyway, she made us spaghetti eyes. I have never had spaghetti eyes in US. She actually bought the gadget to make it to look like the ice cream on Amazon just to bring it to the Treffen. How amazing is that? And she brought her mom and they did it together. I mean, yeah, we have videos on Facebook if you guys want to see it. It was just so amazing. And she's also the girl that was living in Berlin 3 months. She just came back, and she would get her class was at 7 o'clock at night here. She would get on Berlin time 4 a.m. every Monday while she was there. I've never had a student do that. So I'm just like so blown away what some people really are doing. And she went to Germany. She didn't speak that much German yet, but she was just telling us yesterday because she is a musician. So she played her music there. So she said she went to places, she knocked on doors, and she spoke all in German. She went to these record stores to get them to sell her vinyls, and I mean, it's just incredible. She's a very young girl. I'm not even sure how old she is. Probably just in her 20s, I'm thinking. Maybe she's a bit older. I don't know. I have to ask her. But I'm like so blown away by her. So, but that's not why I came on to share, but it's an amazing thing to share. And I'm so excited about it. So I wanted to share that with everyone.
I love it.
And she's now doing her tour for an entire month through US. I'm not sure if she's coming to Arkansas, but I can definitely let you know if she's playing in Arkansas. After she actually sent me the entire tour route, but I don't remember. She's going all over. Maybe one of them is Kansas or something, or Missouri. So
Okay.
if Jane Tennis is on there, she can go to that. She plays techno, maybe not Jane Tennis's soup, but she's even on Spotify, she told us yesterday. So some of
Okay.
my other students that were there were really excited. So yes, but let's move on and talk about um, success of sales.
Yes.
Certainly, I have no issue selling my German lesson. Also, I have sometimes people contact me and they don't move forward, or it takes them a very long time to move forward. Um, but that's not the issue. My issue is my travel business, which should really not be an issue. People say, I'm going to sign up tomorrow or
Mhm.
tonight or this weekend, and they never move forward. What the hell is the matter with them? Or what is
They don't
wrong
know
with me?
no, they don't know how to use it. They get excited. So this is what's called momentum. They have momentum. So there's the A. You've done great
Because, yes, maybe because my excitement with transference of, what were you saying?
in enthusiasm.
Yes, I have plenty of that.
Sure. And so what happens is they go, oh my gosh, yes. So the gravity of the enthusiasm doesn't last because once they get on their own, They're like, well, where am I going to go travel? So they can't think of where they travel. So part of the conversation with the enthusiasm is, so when's your first trip going to be? Where are you going to want to go that, yes, you'll have great savings. Yes, you'll have an incredible time. Yes, you'll have all of these great memories. The question is, where's the place you want to go first to create your best memories? And so I would sell them that they're already in. Because if they've got to make a decision, what do most people not have when they think about travel? Oh, I don't have 7 days. It's not about a 7-day trip. It's not about a 2-week trip. It's not about a 3-week cruise. It's about being able to travel to a place in time, even for a moment, that brings you peace. So part of your sales presentation conversation might benefit them saying, hey, listen, I know you're excited to get started. Where would be the first place you'd want to go? And have them buy the trip in their mind before they ever have to sign up.
That's a great idea.
So if they say, well, I would love to go, I'm just going to throw out that. So I want to go to Ireland. So where would you want to go in Ireland? Do you have family there? What's bringing you to Ireland? So now you're creating the sales, the anchor, the gravity of Ireland. Well, my family's from Wexford. What a joy. Have you been before? No. So this would be a spectacular event. The question is what's been keeping you? Probably cost. What if when you started to go Google and search inside of the program for trips to Ireland, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how affordable this is. That'd be a good decision, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's a great idea. So let's take a specific person that really, we thought she was really, hang on, let me turn this up, was really going to sign up because she told us she wanted to go to Poland to visit her daughter because her daughter's at university there.
Okay.
All right. So she had a destination, right?
Yep.
Wants to save, also wants to earn.
Yep.
And she said, and this was last week, she said, I'm going to, we were talking. She saw the presentation.
Yep.
She was in a group, we even got on Zoom with her. And when I got on off Zoom with her, because I had to teach, she said, I'm going to sign up right now. And if I need any help, I'm going to text you.
Awesome.
Well, that woman never signed up. What the hell?
So we can't ever assume that they're telling the truth. Hang on.
So you tell me everybody's a liar?
Well, isn't she?
Yes, and many more. I mean, why?
So it's not that everybody's a liar. It's just everybody lies until they're asked to tell the truth. So when somebody says, I'm going to sign up right now, say, tell me what that looks like.
Wow. And they're going to say, well, I'm going to sign up.
Okay, but what does that look like? Does that mean like you're going to write out on a sheet of paper and put a sticky note on your thing saying, I'm in the business? That's not signing up.
Well, you're probably right. But when somebody's signing up, I'm thinking they're going to register.
No, but they don't know how to do it. So it's something they've never done. So how do people feel when they're going to go do something they've never done, especially if it's techie? Oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this. And then they'll come up with 1,001 things going on. This is like everything else you went to sign up for. You screwed it up. And so it's not even worth it. This is going on in their head. It's not you. It's not your sign up program. It's every time they've gone to sign up. This is a pattern. I promise you, it's a pattern in anyone who does the thing that's the pattern. So if she says, yeah, I'm going to sign up if I need any help. Great. What would you need help with? Well, I don't know. So what do you think signing up looks like? What do you think registering looks like? Do you have the web address? Do you have a credit card? Are you going to use which credit card are you going to use? Just so I can make sure.
That's like Shanita. She would always say Visa or MasterCard.
Yep. Visa or MasterCard. Great. The company accepts both of those. So if you get signed up, what email address are you going to use? Because they're going to send you the confirmation there. All I'm doing is walking them through what they're about to do, because the reason she didn't is because she got hung up. She hit one little stone on this super highway of success to go to Poland to see her daughter. She hit a pebble that stopped her. Not a brick wall, a pebble, something that has happened in her life in the past. Maybe her credit card was out of date and she had to renew. I don't know, but there
No,
was
she did tell us why well, we've spoken to her many times since then. She said that she had to help her son suddenly with his college applications.
Awesome. So are you writing his doctorate thesis for 3 weeks, or can we get started today?
Oh my God. You come up with the most amazing things.
It's his application, not his master's degree, right?
I
You're not
mean,
helping him with his thesis. You're just
yeah, and I don't even know why he would need help right then and there, you know. I mean,
he didn't. He didn't. You know he didn't.
No.
And if he's a college kid trying to go and he can't figure out the application, then there's other issues. So, but anyways, listen.
Well, I have
any
helped
excuse will
my
do.
kids. I have helped my kids with it too. So I'm not even questioning that she did that. I'm just questioning that she needed to do it right then and there when she had.
Okay. That's okay. And so now, hey, say, listen. So we're here today. Today's a good day to get started. Let's go. Not are you ready? Don't ask, are you ready? Say, let's go.
No, I know. We reached back and said, can we help you sign up today?
No, not can we. What time today are we signing up? Because the can gives a I can get out. Can we? No, you can't. What time today are we signing up?
That's a good one. And what about the guy who was supposed to sign up over the weekend and didn't?
Awesome. I guess you're not a weekend kind of guy. Maybe you're a weekday kind of guy. Let's get started.
Even know how you come up with this stuff. You really say that to people?
Well, if you said you were going to get signed up over the weekend, listen, you must have had a party kind of a weekend. Let's get down to business. It's time to get started.
Well, yeah, because he sent me on Friday a message and said, well, I'm going to be working my yard this weekend. I have no questions, because I had said, do you have questions before you sign up? And he said, I have no questions. I'm signing up this weekend. Thank you.
Excellent. So don't ask them, do you have questions? Say, always ask. So what does signing up look like? I promise you, you will get a whole totally different answer of what signing up looks like. Because guess what? If you say, do you have questions? I have no questions. Guess what they get to say? Oh, I guess I did have some questions. Like, shit. What does signing up look like? Ask for the thing. Ask for the thing. Somebody says, I want to kiss you. What does that look like? What does that look like? You want to kiss me on the cheek, on the lip? Sorry, no, on the cheek. What does that? Well, you want to kiss me? You want to kiss my hand? What does that look like?
Has anybody ever told you that? I mean, people just do it.
No. When somebody says, I want to kiss you, I go, what does that look like? If it's
what does that look like?
I want to know. What does that look like?
I'm sorry, you're just funny.
Well, I'm very clear.
I'm gonna try that. Yes, okay. I'm gonna try that.
Somebody says, I'm gonna sign up this weekend. Awesome. Tell me what that looks like. And you'll watch them go, well, I guess I would go to the website. What website? Your website. Do you have the link? I don't know. So I'll send you the link. Now you're on the link. What do you do? It's going to ask you who's your enroller. Well, you are. Do you have my number?
It comes up with that. It should at least.
Don't assume. See, that's where most people get that. Most people's lives are in dishevels because they assume. You said you were going to do it. You lied? No, I just didn't tell the truth. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
I mean, people come up with the craziest things.
Sure. So
when they don't want to do something.
I don't want you to be crazy. You said you want to do it. Great. What does that look like?
Right.
Just tell me, what does it look like? I want to take you to dinner. What does that look like? Well, we would go to McDonald's. We're
Oh,
not
no,
going to dinner,
thank you.
right?
We will not.
We're not going to we're not going to dinner.
That's true. A guy said one time he wanted to go. I don't know. It was like this. I don't know. It was like it was a fast food place. I don't go to fast food
No.
places.
So
I said, oh no, thank you. I'm just really busy, and
well,
I
I mean,
didn't
if you
want
don't
to
want to
say
go
I
with
don't
somebody,
go there.
but I
What?
would say to somebody, I would say, hey, listen, I would love to break bread with you. We're just not breaking bread at McDonald's. Be very clear. The only thing you have, Silke, is your time. And when you're going, what?
Yes.
So they lie. And then you get frustrated. There's no reason to get frustrated. Tell me what that looks like. It's not rocket surgery. Tell me what that looks like.
And it's not only me now that gets frustrated.
Right.
Is my upline too now that
And
gets
then,
frustrated because I actually have one now.
yeah. And now what happens is that they feel bad because they lied. They didn't keep their promise, and they're going to make up 1,001 excuses so they didn't lie, because now they got to justify why they didn't do it, and it just creates a whole lot of pressure. And people are like, I don't want to have to argue with Silke. I said I'd promise it, and so I'm just going to go into the witness protection program. And you're like, they don't answer the phone.
Yeah.
So keep them out of the witness protection program. Say, hey, listen, and I've said this to people before. I know you want to get started on Saturday. Things can happen. I don't want you to go into the witness protection program. They'll go, what? I go, yeah, you're going to not sign up. Something's going to happen. And on Tuesday, you're not going to answer your phone. And every time you see me calling, you're going to go, oh my God, I don't even want to talk to her anymore. I don't even want to talk to Sean anymore. Can we agree that we shouldn't let that happen to our relationship?
Yeah, and people, I've even asked people, have you ended the witness protection program?
Right.
And sometimes then they will get back to me because they think it's funny.
And the key is, so how do we avoid that before they start? That's all. So what does that look like? That's a question. Listen, you're going to invest my money. You've taken my time.
Yes.
Now you're going to spend your money. What does that look like?
Yeah, and people suck your time.
Yeah, so my time is more valuable than I can replace money. I can't replace time.
Yes, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
you're going to take my time, and I'm going to be looking for your thing. So if I'm looking for, so what day should I look for your enrollment? Saturday or Sunday? I'm going to sign up over the weekend. Great. Which day which day do you think is going to be more convenient for you, Saturday or Sunday? I don't know. So you're not getting started. No, I'm getting started. What day? That's all.
Yeah, sometimes people get upset when you try to pin them down like that.
Well, I'm not pinning you down. I'm trying to narrow you down, because pinning you down would be, well, why wait? Why don't we get started now?
Yeah, and I think, I used to do that. I wouldn't even let them get off the call. I would say, let's sign up right now, because that way I would sit there and help them.
Sure.
Or would do it for them.
Absolutely.
And then they can't get out.
Yep. So here's the thing. You might say, to give them some time freedom, listen, I'm busy all day Saturday, but Sunday I'm open all day. So if you don't get done on Saturday, what time on Sunday would be good to connect for me to help you get started?
Yes, that's a great idea.
Don't assume when somebody says, I'm going to get started. Great. What does that look like? I'm going to run a marathon. What does that look like? You're not going to go run 26 miles today. Do you own shoes? Well, no. So why don't you go to Big Lots and get yourself a pair of running shoes? Right. I know we're giggling, but this is.
Well, I know. I mean, you're so freaking amazing. I always am afraid that I will offend people, but they don't seem to.
You're offended. I don't want my Silke to be offended. Don't let anybody piss you off by lying. Don't lie. I don't want you to lie. I want to get started over the weekend. Great. What does that look like? That's all. My Silke needs to be happy. She doesn't need to have a rash going to Vegas. She needs to be happy.
I know, and my daughter scheduled an entire pool day for us. Can you imagine? It's 106 degrees in Las Vegas. So I'm like,
but it's a dry heat.
My rash will be, but sitting in the sun with a rash.
Yeah, I know.
Half of your body.
Right.
No, I'm hoping it'll be better by tomorrow. But yeah,
It
I
will be.
think maybe, I have all the stress because people waste my time.
Right,
This
but don't have that anymore. So now just know when somebody says I'm ready to get started, great. What does that look like?
I will, yes. And what were you saying again? Sorry, about the guy who didn't get started. I'm gonna reach out and tell him what he said. I'm gonna start this week. I'm signing up this weekend.
Excellent. It sounds like you had a great weekend. Hey, you're probably a weekday kind of guy. Let's get you started.
All right. Thank you.
Weekends are
Thank
for
you.
fun. Weekdays are for work. Let's get started.
He'll say, I was so busy with my yard.
Outstanding. Let's get going. So
Outstanding. Yes, because all these people do the same freaking thing. I'm like,
yeah, outstanding is my word. Fascinating. That's fascinating. Let's get started.
All right, let's get started. Okay, thank you. Love you.
Love you. Thank you. All right, everybody, there you go. There's another great day. And stay tuned for some photos of the dock. So we're going to have a dock probably here this afternoon to be able to, it's actually the dock is done. Now I'm just building the deck, the ramp out to the dock, the floating dock. It's on, it's going to be so cool. It's going to be so much fun. So guys, love you tons. I'm your head brain training, Gravity of Words Misfit. I'll see y'all where?
At the next event.
At the next event. Somebody give me some Costa Rica.
Pura
Pura
vida.
vida.
Vida, we love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with us.
Yes.
Peace be with us. And the queen of helping you put some gravity in your words, Jessie Lee Ward.
Awesome.
We love your girl. And a little white fluffy.
Gurgly.
Gurgly. It's funny. Beamish will go sit in the water, and he's sitting in the water with just his head sticking out. And Molly has not gone into the water yet, but yesterday she was sitting with her paws in the water, like your grandmother would sit, going, "Oh, I'm just gonna stick my toes in the water." So she had her paws into the water up to about here, and she'd be drinking the water. And I'm like, "Molly, go in." She's like, "I don't know if I want to go in yet." So it was kind of cool to watch her. Like, she wanted to go in with Beamish, but she hasn't gone there yet. I don't relish the day she goes in because of how long her hair is. She's just going to be a mess when she gets in there, but she'll eventually get in there.
It'll weigh her down too.
Well,
she has a lot of hair.
She has a lot of hair. She'll be a big pond mess. She'll get a lot of baths. Beamish gets a bath every day when he goes in the pond, which is every day now. So anyway, that's nice. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Love you guys.
Thank you, Sean. Love you all. Have a great day.
Thank you. Love you all.